The story of Rodrigo Roa Duterte is one that continues to shape conversations about power, justice, and leadership in the Philippines. Known for his direct language, unconventional political style, and controversial policies, Duterte's journey from a provincial mayor to a president facing legal proceedings before the International Criminal Court has become one of the most dramatic political narratives in modern Southeast Asian history. Rodrigo Duterte was born on March 28, 1945, in Maasin, southern Leyte. He grew up in a politically active family. His father, Vicente Duterte, served as governor of Davao, exposing him early to the realities of public service. Duterte later studied political science and law, eventually becoming a prosecutor. Those years shaped his tough persona, a man who believed strongly in discipline, order, and a strict interpretation of justice. His long political career began in Davao City, where he served multiple terms as mayor. Duterte's supporters credit him with transforming the city into a safer and more organized urban center. His leadership style was firm and often confrontational, earning him a reputation as a strongman figure. While many residents praised his decisive governance, critics raised concerns about alleged harsh methods and the rise of vigilantism. Even during these early years, Duterte's name was already linked to debates about human rights and law enforcement. In 2016, Duterte shocked the political establishment by winning the Philippine presidency. Running on a platform of change, he promised to combat illegal drugs, crime, and corruption. His victory marked a turning point in Philippine politics. He portrayed himself as an outsider from Mindanao who understood the struggles of ordinary Filipinos. His speeches were raw and emotional, resonating with voters who felt disconnected from traditional leaders. During his presidency, Duterte launched an aggressive anti-drug campaign that became the defining issue of his administration. The government described the campaign as necessary to address a serious national problem. Many supporters believed it restored discipline and made communities safer. His administration also pushed infrastructure development, tax reforms, and strengthened relations with various international partners, including closer ties with China while maintaining strategic relations with the United States. Among his achievements frequently highlighted by supporters were the Build infrastructure program, increased investments in roads and public transport, and social programs aimed at improving services for Filipinos. Duterte also signed major legislative reforms, including free tuition in state universities and expanded healthcare initiatives. These policies contributed to his enduring popularity among certain sectors of society, even as controversies intensified. However, his presidency was also marked by serious criticism both locally and internationally. Human rights organizations questioned the conduct of anti-drug operations, raising concerns about deaths linked to police actions. Critics argued that strong rhetoric from the president created an environment that allowed abuses. Duterte consistently denied wrongdoing and defended his policies as necessary measures to protect citizens. His leadership style extended beyond domestic policies. Duterte often made headlines for his outspoken remarks about world leaders, institutions, and international issues. While some saw his statements as honest and fearless, others believed they damaged diplomatic relations and heightened political tensions. As international scrutiny grew, the International Criminal Court began examining allegations related to the anti-drug campaign. Even after the Philippines withdrew from the ICC during Duterte's presidency, the court maintained that it still had jurisdiction over actions that allegedly occurred while the country was a member. The investigation gradually moved forward, becoming one of the most closely watched legal processes involving a former Asian head of state. After Duterte stepped down from office, political influence remained within his circle, particularly through allies and family members who continued to hold key roles in Philippine politics. Yet outside the country, legal developments advanced. Investigators gathered testimonies, documents, and evidence as part of the ICC's process. Eventually, Duterte was brought to The Hague, Netherlands, the seat of the International Criminal Court. The journey to The Hague marked a historic moment. Supporters viewed the move as politically motivated, while critics described it as a necessary step toward accountability. The court placed him under detention while legal proceedings continued, ensuring his presence during the judicial process. Recently, the ICC announced developments regarding the confirmation of charges. This stage is not yet a trial, but serves as a critical legal milestone. Judges review whether prosecutors have presented enough evidence to proceed to full trial. The proceedings are closely monitored by the international community, as they may set precedents on how global institutions address allegations against former leaders. Duterte's life story reflects the complexity of Philippine politics, a mix of loyalty and criticism, achievements and controversies. To many of his supporters, he remains a symbol of decisive leadership who dared to challenge entrenched systems. They highlight infrastructure progress, economic reforms, and his willingness to confront crime head-on. To critics, he represents a period of deep political division and raises questions about the balance between security and human rights. Beyond politics, Duterte is also a father and a public figure whose family has long been involved in governance. His children have held various political positions, continuing the Duterte presence in Philippine public life. This dynastic aspect adds another layer to his legacy, showing how personal and political identities often intertwine in the country's leadership landscape. Today, as he remains detained in The Hague, Duterte's story continues to unfold. The confirmation of charges process will determine whether a full trial moves forward, a decision that could shape not only his personal legacy, but also global conversations about justice and accountability. The world watches closely, aware that the outcome may influence future relations between national sovereignty and international law. Whether viewed as a reformer who changed the political narrative or a controversial leader whose policies sparked international concern, Rodrigo Duterte's journey stands as one of the most significant political chapters of the 21st century Philippines. His rise, presidency, and current legal battle illustrate the power of leadership to inspire loyalty, ignite debate, and leave a lasting imprint on history.